Yeah, an interesting question that I've always tried to ask is why do I believe what I believe, and why is this thought in my head, and do I still carry this to this day? People many times nowadays will have politics as part of their identity because maybe they have nothing else to do. But I've always looked at it as like, what can you control, and focus on that. Like your
Well,
personal life, how many of those things that you can get angry about actually impact you?
so I completely agree with that. Like, you can't control most of politics. Like, some of it you can, actually. You get to certain financial levels and you can buy and rent politicians just like any other commodity. You want a Coke? Pay for Coke. You want a Pepsi? Pay for Pepsi. You want a Democrat? Buy a Democrat. Want a Republican? Buy a Republican. Like, they all accept donations, and guess what they do with them? Whatever the fuck you tell them to do if you give a big enough donation. So get really rich and your opinion matters more, right? But that being said, like, we can't control politics, but if we are getting into business, it's good to measure it. And that's why I enjoy politics. Like, I like watching it because, like, supply and demand are the two major factors in any economic measurement. But politics influences those two things. Okay. The will of the people and decision making based on the power of the politician and what they can do with monetary policy has a major effect. So, like, look, measuring politics has made me very rich because I can measure what they're going to do. Like, I remember COVID, a lot of builders stopped building. They were like, oh my God, let's not build homes. It's going to be just like 2008. The world's going to end. I looked at what they were doing. And as soon as they said construction workers are essential workers, I was like, weird. They have so much propaganda about this virus. Even though we had all the data we needed about it from that cruise liner that was going around, we knew how it was going to affect men of different ages, women of different ages, different ethnicities, different like cultures and races, whatever you want to say. And we knew what the death rate was. We knew it wasn't really going to affect children. We knew a lot about it, right? But we shut down everything, and all the news media came up with their own propaganda, not based on data and facts. And we shut down everything. I took blame out, and I said, what are people going to do based on the information they're receiving? Homeowners are not going to list their homes for sale. What's that going to do to inventory supplies and real estate? It's going to diminish it. What are builders doing? They're not starting houses. What's that going to do to inventory supply? Oh, it's going to diminish it. I'm going to start every fucking house I have. Why? Because there's an abundance of labor. There's huge demand. There's still people that have to move. There's all that's still real. And what's the safest house to go into? The one that nobody lives in, since none others are available. My brand blew up. I went from a builder in the market to the builder in the market. We're a 4-year-old company. We build more square footage, not more units, but more square footage than anybody else in town. And we have the highest margin because we saw what politics was doing. We saw what their cronies in the media were doing. And they all have cronies. Like, if you think everybody on Fox is honest, they're cronies of the right. Okay, if you think everybody on MSNBC or CNN or CBS, the left has more cronies, but they're all cronies. Like, I mean, the media is a joke. The reason that people left the media and went to social media to get their news is because the media is full of shit, and people got to realizing that. Now people are seeing, oh wait, social media companies are starting to be controlled by the government. Let's go to influencers. So it's the age of the influencer, and the influencer is starting to trump social media because government can't get their tentacles into every person quite the same way, at least not yet.